Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the SDRL inaugural season, round 7 in Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps. I have working audio on my laptop, so bear with me a second. There we go. That's that muted and out of the way. How are we all doing? I hope you had a good weekend and your week has started well. I've not done too well in recent Spa races, so been trying to identify where exactly I was so slow, and I have made quite a big jump and improvement, believe it or not, by one click of brake bias. I was really struggling in turn 10. Let's bring up the track map. Turn 8. I've been calling it turn 10 in all my discussions with people. Oh well. Anyway, in turn 8, I've been really struggling. As you brake, the track goes downhill, and there's a little bump on the inside where you turn in, and I've been really struggling with locking the rears up in that braking area. That is progress, but don't get your hopes up too much. We've just done a practice session, and I was still a good 2 seconds slower than the fastest people. So all I've done is brought myself back into line with where I am at all the other tracks. I was 4 or 5 seconds off in Spa last time we raced here. So yeah, this bump on the entry to turn 8 has been really unsettling. It seems to be locking the rear brakes and unsettling the rear, and probably 20-25% of the time going through that corner I've ended up in either a half spin or spinning completely to the inside. Yeah, it's not pedals, it's purely a setting adjustment in the car, adjusting the brake bias between front and rear. So the setting, the first comment I had, I raised this in a Discord, and someone saying, "Oh yeah, for this corner you need to bring the brake bias 2 clicks forward, then put it back 1 click for this corner." And adjusting the brake bias per corner is beyond my meager skills at the moment. So I won't be doing any of that. So what I have done is adjusted it forward by 1 click for the entire lap. And I can then potentially make adjustments as we get through the race and start wearing the tires. I can make occasional adjustments, but adjusting it per corner is just not going to happen. So yeah, hopefully we'll see a bit of an improvement. But like I say, the practice session I've just done with Cert and a few others, I was still a good 2 or 3 seconds. I wouldn't get your hopes up too much, Colin, as I've just been explaining. Spa is a really bad track for me at the moment. I have found some improvements, but all it's done is brought me back to a similar gap that I am behind at all the other tracks. So, like I say, I'm not holding up too much hope. About my best hope, I think, is some sort of rain. Preferably during the race, and a lot of retirements, and then we just don't know what will happen. Then we will just have to wait and see. So yeah, there is Spa. Anyway, let's talk you around the track. Start finish straight is a DRS zone, but a very short one. The first hairpin at La Source, very tight corner indeed. Really tricky to get the speed off and get into the apex there, and then also getting the power down on the way out without having the rear step out. Try drink driving instead. Yeah, possibly. Then a long acceleration down towards Eau Rouge, turns 2, 3 and 4, up the hill, really steep hill. I've walked down it, and everyone says it. The TV pictures don't do it justice, and they are absolute all right. It's like climbing a bloody mountain, it feels like. That's pretty much flat out in a Formula 1 car these days, unless it's wet. Coming out over the hill, you go into the first DRS zone down the Kemmel Straight. Yeah, in a Grand Prix weekend. A couple of times, actually. Anyway, down the Kemmel Straight to turn 5, another heavy braking zone, a right-left chicane. Turn 7 is quite tricky. It's a semi-acceleration zone, a bit of a lift, certainly very little braking required. And then down the hill to my bogey corner, turn 8, braking just as you start braking, the track falls away downhill. And around the turning point, there's quite a bump on the inside, which I was struggling with, unsettling the rear. Really slow and tight corner. It's tricky to avoid trying to get the power down there as you come out of it. Turn 9 at quite a quick corner. Again, a lift, maybe a small brake. Puons turns 10 and 11, really fast corner. A bit of a lift, maybe a brake, really tricky in the wet. Another fast chicane, turns 12 and 13. Braking down to 5th gear on a quali lap, probably 4th in the race. And then turn 14, another 4th gear corner. Important to get a good exit from here because turn 15 is largely an acceleration zone, again, unless it's wet. And you then don't lift the throttle all the way through turn 16 and 17 until you get to the braking point for what used to be the bus stop. I'm not sure that's still called the bus stop chicane. Turns 18 and 19, another really tricky corner. Very difficult to get the speed off without braking too early and losing a lot of time. And again, coming out of turn 19, getting the power down and avoiding spinning up the rears is tricky. Go straight into the DRS zone and across the start-finish straight. So we're under 5 minutes from quali, so I'm going to start the quali prediction. So there you go. There's the quali prediction running. What other tracks have I been to? Only Silverstone. I went to Silverstone probably 5 or 6 times. Went every year from about the year to 1998, 99, something like that. The year Mika Hakkinen retired at Abbey, because I was at the Abbey chicane that year. Made it onto telly. And then we went to Spa. I think the first year I went to Spa was either 99 or 2000. First year we stayed in the capital, Brussels, which was a mistake because it's about a 3-hour coach journey from there to the circuit. And every other time we did that, we stayed in what was like a Centre Parks, about half an hour's drive from the circuit, which was great. We would go there for the whole week before the race, go to the race Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then drive back home on the Monday. Great fun. So the lobby is now open. I'll let you see that. We have 15 drivers in. I better take my seat. I have a new teammate today in remote, who is Rapid. So there's a good chance Ferrari are going to score some points today at least. Little chance from my side of the garage, but a very good chance from remote side. He was leading the Valencia Monaco, what, for races or just to visit? I don't remember much of Valencia. I will have driven it in games quite a lot, but not recently, obviously, since it disappeared off the track, and I haven't been to Monaco. I guess it's a good place to visit, but it's not a good place for a race. Neither during races, sadly. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Donington Park, Brands, driven Silverstone on a Toyota invite day. I can imagine, Colin. So get your predictions in for qualifying. Will I get out of Q1 into Q2? Will I make it all the way to Q3? Same to you, Viper. I hope you have a good race, but not better than me. But chances are you will, because I'm pretty terrible around Spa, sadly. Do go follow Dark Viper if you're not already. He's a very nice chap and a really good streamer. There we go. And he won from last position on the grid in SDRL at the Saudi Arabia track, which may be what the clip is showing at the moment. That looks like Jeddah. I don't know if that is the SDRL race or not. But yes, did a last to first on that in the SDRL, which was a great achievement. That was the race I should have had points, but took myself out, did a stroll at turn 4, hitting the wall while trying to take it too tight. my own mistake. Nobody else to blame but me. And I was kicking myself with that because that's by far been my best chance. Thank you, Dog Viper. That's by far been my best chance of points so far this season. Fingers crossed we get lucky today because I think it is going to need some luck. But, you know, who knows what happens? We will see. So quality's about to start. Good luck to all the other drivers. I dare say it looks like we're waiting for 2 people. We've not been asked to ready up yet. There's only 17 people in now. Someone disappeared. Let's see, who are we waiting for? We got 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris, 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Haas. We're missing a Williams, 2 McLarens, Williams and an Alpine, and an Aston we are missing at the moment. So let's see what happens with them. Timely mention for Sim Racing Centre setups. I got a lot of help on their Discord server today with trying to identify the issues I've been having with turn 8 at Spa, which I keep calling turn 10 for some reason. Like I say, a lot of good help there, advising me where I might be going wrong. I posted a few videos of me going around that corner, something like 9 or 10 times, 2 or 3 of which I spun, and they did point me at the brake bias change, which I had a quick play with at lunchtime and does seem to have made a difference. So that is good. Fingers crossed it will pay dividends today. Like I say, in the last few races at Spa I've been a good 4 or 5 seconds a lap slower than the quick people. I think I've got that down to 2 or 3 seconds, which is where I typically am at the other tracks. So hopefully that will pay out in qualifying today, and I can at least make a decent showing. And then we'll just have to see what happens in the race. A lot of attrition at Spa. It's a very easy track to go off on and get damage. So that might play in my favour, as long as the people going off and getting damage is not me. We will just have to see. Anyway, I hope everyone's weekend was good, as I said, and that you're enjoying the start of your week. I'm going to take a quick slurp of tea. I thought my test to speak wasn't working there. Good man, JBG, and your 3 stopwatches, hopefully. You're brave telling my wife to shush, Colin. If you ever met her, you wouldn't. You've obviously never met JBG either. Either that or your spectacles prescription. Kerdota. CUH Dota, how would I say your name? Good luck is coming this race. Well, let's hope so, Kerdota. Thank you for the sentiment. We are a bit delayed going into qualifying, which is a little bit of a surprise. Nothing on the SDRL channel just yet. If anyone has the capability, if they could have that open for me and let me know when they hear something. That is my wife, yes, Face Colin. So be careful. Yeah, if anyone can have the SDRL channel open at the same time, SDRL_official. I should get the audio in my ears when they go live. I'm assuming they're not live yet. The icon itself, indeed. So, yeah, it looks like SDRL is not yet live. So that at least suggests that things are working my end. It's one thing I don't get to check during my tests. Okay, we have all 20 drivers in now. We had a good session last Friday, Colin. I don't know whether you were with us. I can't remember. But yes, it was good fun. One big factor in Spa, of course, is the weather. I'm not sure. I've visited the Spa race either 3 or 4 times, and I don't think in any of them it was dry for the entire weekend. So there's a really good chance people are readying up. So let's do that. There is a really good chance there's going to be some rain at some point during this race. You were out getting plastered Friday. Fair enough. Well, you might be getting plastered this Friday. You never know. Okay, tension mounting. Just a few more seconds. How did the prediction go? I can't see it. What was the any of the mods who can see what the predicted results were? Voice chat suspended. Yep, don't care. Where do people think? How is it 99% out in Q1? 100%. Fair enough. I think that's probably realistic, if I'm honest. I might get lucky like I did in Spain, wasn't it, where we had quite a lot of shock failures to get out of Q1. Okay, thank you for your faith in me, Corn. In we go. Good luck, everybody, and yeah, I hope we have an entertaining race and qualifying session. Now then, tyres. Do I want to go harder? Certainly don't want to go softer. Do I want 2 sets of hards, 2 sets of mediums? I think that's probably safest, given that realistically... Yeah, fair enough, Con. I think realistically, I'm not getting out of Q1. And even if I do, saving a set of softs is not really going to help me. So we'll go for the harder tyre allocation. That way I get 2 mediums and 2 hards for the race, I think. It's a very long lap at Spa as well, so the number of laps you can get in qualifying is relatively limited. Oh, we have some weather predicted for the race. Let's have a look. So, yeah, and again, another conflicting weather forecast. The icon says rain, but for 45 minutes in the race, there is no rain. So I think I'm going to have to go with a dry setup and just take the risk in the race. Q1, 2 and 3 are all dry. Parc Fermé is off for SDRL races, so I can at least run a qualifying setup.
There are a few cars out on track. Perhaps we should get out there before it gets too busy.
Yeah, give us a chance, Mark. I'm just getting my setup loaded, making sure I've got my brake bias adjustment applied.
Checks complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
The pit lane exit alone at Spa is bloody tricky. Why isn't my... Hold on, I have a settings issue. This is not going to go well. Okay, that is correct. 360 degrees. got no force feedback either. They've got force feedback back now, at least. No, it's sorted now. I do get this occasionally on my Fanatec as well, and usually restarting the wheel sorts it. Yeah, it's back now. I have force feedback, and the lock is correct. Hopefully I didn't get any wing. Oh, Josh out of the session already. That started well, hasn't it? Yeah. Can anyone check if the SDRL channel is live yet? I'm not getting anything from it. Well, they were up to temperature. Thank you for that, Zepti. But I think it's just inept driver as much as anything. Well, they were green anyway. I didn't look at the actual numbers. Welcome in, Zepti. Anyway, it's good to have you with us. Thank you for joining in the chat. It means a lot.
Pitting this lap then. Coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
Shouldn't have locked those tyres up. Actually, I need them for this run. So, come on. Get me in the garage, get the wing changed, and let me get back out. Better change the wing, guys.
Let's go.
Anyone able to check the official SDRL channel? Are they live yet? Yep, I can get out the pit lane at least this time. Oh, okay, I'll have to fix that next time I go in the pits then. Yeah, all right. Something obviously wrong with my setup here. Slime, that's charming, Sanjay. Thank you, JBT. Hey. Okay, I need to get a decent lap in as a banker. For 145, that's going to be a good 4 seconds off, I suspect. Yeah. So back to the pits, fresh set of tyres on.
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now, the tank's pretty much empty.
I suspect red flags are turned off, but also that's not really the attitude, is it, Sanjay? Good. Loads of cars behind me. Who's getting back on track. Don't want to get disqualified. did that extra lap as well, which means I've now got to limp back to the pits. In low fuel mode. Come on, car. That's full throttle, believe it or not. Yeah, alright Sanjay, it's not working at the moment. I'll try and fix it. Ran out of fuel because I screwed up the first qualifying lap I did. Come on, car, accelerate. I'm not going to get a second lap at this rate.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Pit lane's over here somewhere, isn't it? There we go. This and next lap invalidated. Better not be the one after they've come out of the pits.
Right now, I don't think so. Remote is going out for another out lap. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Dark Viper on his probably one and only lap here, coming down the Kemmel Straight.
Well, I didn't want to get in anyone's way.
This one up nicely if he wants to make it into. Oh, in fact, he's backing off. Never mind.
Don't bother, remote. I wouldn't bother. I'll only screw it up.
1:45.1.
Risky strategy from Dark Viper. Trying to get out of Q1.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out to the track.
Medium compound tyres.
Well, there's no point, compromising remotes qualifying. I'm barely going to get round in time to start a lap at this rate.
Could be a bit risky for Dark Viper here. But let's see, anybody else on flying lap? I don't believe so. We have a couple of cars coming through the bus stop now, but none of them are on outlaps. The first car on an outlap is going to be the Alpha Tauri of Cyber here, just preparing to start his final flying lap. So, and then we have the Williams of Shuriken and then the House of Dark Viper behind. A minute and 30 seconds still left in the session, so there is time for pretty much everybody on track to start their flying lap. Here we go now with the Cyber starting his first, his final lap of this session, sorry. Currently starting at 1:42. He's going to have to find quite a lot of time. Nuki has retired.
1 minute to go.
Retired on a 1:42.6. Doesn't look particularly safe as it stands, but we will see if he's able to get through down the current straight. Now DRS open. Let's see if Simon can get this Alpha Tauri out of Q1. Sector 1. Has he found time? No, he hasn't. He's 5 thousandths down on his Delta. He's going to have to find some time, but Sector 2 is the place to find the time. It's got so many corners in this sector. So it's one of the longest as well. Sector 1 and Sector 3 only have a couple corners.
30 seconds left in the session.
you're going to find so much more time here. Down towards pure on we go now. Let's see, flipping it in, can he keep it within the track limits? Slight lift off the throttle there. It's going to be interesting actually to see what people do setup-wise, given the race weather. I know that if you're on a full wet setup, you can actually take P1 flat out, which is very exciting to do. Coming towards the split line now for the second setter. Has he managed to find the time? He's 4/10 up almost on his previous lap. He is finding time now. Now down towards junction 1 we go. Is Cyber going to be able to find enough time to elevate his position, potentially get him out of...
Look at that from remote.
One here. Raven has not made the start-finish line. He is not going to be able to set another lap. Raven is currently in 13th place on a 1:42.6. Last time out's race winner is not going to be able to set another lap. He is at risk now. Cyber goes 10th fastest with a 1:42.2. Raven could be at risk now.
Fucking hell.
Downsy only 15th fastest. He is at risk now. Dark Viper to the line. It's only 16th for him on the medium compound tyres. That was a costly mistake for him. He is out in Q1. Next car to the line is going to be the Mercedes Craggy, but he has invalidated, so we're not going to be seeing a fast lap time from him. Then we have Echo now coming through towards Blanchimont. Can he get his Alpine out of Q1 here and knock Downsy into the elimination zone? We also have Shuriken also on a flying lap still, so he will be pushing. AD also on a lap as well, coming through the middle sector. Into the chicane now. Echo is going to cross the line any second now. DRS open. Can he get himself out of Q1? Yes, he can. It's a
I told you it's great up remote. Thank you, though. That was an impeccably timed
the
tow.
last driver in the elimination zone is AD. He has invalidated though, so AD will not improve his time. He is out in Q1 as well. Unfortunately, not able to set a faster time. Remote has retired. He's on
So 1:44.7 was the time I did anyway,
Shuriken went 10th fastest with
which I suspect would not have got me out of qualifying.
And Raven somehow, despite not being able to set a lap time there, has managed to scrape through to Q2. Very close to elimination there, but he has...
Many thanks for that remote. That was an impeccably timed tow.
He wouldn't have improved his position had it been valid. So unfortunately, he is out in Q1.
I assume you've got through. Oh yes, you've got through without too much of a problem.
So there we go. Here are the Q1 results. ICU.
Good luck to you too, Remote. Thanks very much.
There, over
Cheers.
Remote. Then we had Takubi in third. Angstu close behind. This midfield is looking very close as well. 4 cars in the 141.9s. Surt, Bowie, Berkey and Craggy. But then the elimination zone, Josh, Dantax, AD Downsy and Dark Viper out in Q1. Dark Viper unable to get out after risking it on the medium compound tyres. He will start 17th on the grid, unfortunately.
How do you mean by what T1? What's it like going into turn 1?
For the Haas driver,
people at least know how to drive in this league.
Not something we see on pure pace. Dark Viper does quite often like to start at the back, though. We saw it in Jeddah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
first. We've seen it a couple times more.
La Source, sorry, is a tricky first corner in any league, but at least generally the drivers here know how to race and avoid each other. The last 2 races have gone without a safety car, I believe. So
if he wanted to make his way,
which isn't too bad for a 50% race.
Have the pace to do so.
I will
into Q2 now.
Yes.
And 15 drivers left.
Yeah, so I was praying for a safety car in Spain because the guy got wing damage on lap 1. Yay me.
Position.
Well done, AD.
Lots of cars heading out early.
So I'll keep quiet and leave you in the capable hands of Chocolate and our commentary. Sounds like he might be by himself tonight.
The first driver onto the
Thank you for the follow, Sanjay. I don't know why you keep doing that. I'm sure seeing your name up on my stream is well worth all the effort it goes to.
No surprises now. You need the pace here. I expect to see quite a few drivers on used soft tyres, though. I can already see of the 3.
Yeah, I've got to sit and do nothing for about half an hour now.
they are on used
Yes,
tyres.
Colin and Sanjay seem
So
to
there are a
be
couple
so
drivers out
insecure
there
they have to get their
just
name in
on a
lights on
used
my stream
set
every stream
to,
for some reason.
to set a banker lap, get
Hey
a
ho,
delta,
if it keeps them happy, then
and go out later
but
for another push lap on a new set, or maybe
sit
even
and
just
hydrate. I
commit
certainly
to
will.
the old set. Try to make it through to Q3 on those tyres.
Well,
So shouldn't be too much longer until we get a car on.
like I say, it
push
must
lap.
give you
I'll
some
keep the
kind of
shaft coming
thrill
through
to
the
see your
Fagnes
name
chicane
up on the
towards
screen,
Stavelot.
because you do it every time.
So yeah, shouldn't be too much longer until he is on
Congratulations
his flying
on
lap.
that. Right, I
and
guess we can
pushing
complete
away.
that prediction, so bear with me a second.
Tyre wear is quite high at Spa, given that the length of the track, it's the longest track on the calendar, 7.004 kilometers. So yeah, it's the tyre wear is naturally high, lots of corners at the track as well. So you do tend to get lots of tyre wear, and that could show a larger pace gap in these used tyre runs compared to what we've seen over the course of the season so far. Actually now on the run down towards Eau Rouge. Let's see, can he hook this one up nicely? It's quite easy to lose your lap here with the track limits, and
Tell me
we
about
will
it,
be getting
chocolate.
some wet weather conditions later on in the race, and that will excite things a little bit more through a couple of these corners, which normally would just be flat out. Eau Rouge, Radion, to an extent, the second half of Pouon can be, depending on how wet it gets. Blanchimont as well, all which would usually be completely flat out.
Stewardle, I
You
don't
might start to see
recognise the
drivers
name,
lifting or
sorry.
potentially even braking at some
You can
of
do
them.
whatever you like, Sanjay.
But let's see how it goes. Angstji now coming into Pouon, flicking that car in, riding that inside curb, trying to take the shortest line possible now into Fanya.
Oh, I see. No, I haven't.
Losing the car, though, through the middle section of that chicane. That's going to have cost him a bit of time. Let's see, Sector 2 split. It's a 113. We'll see quickly what is Sert doing behind 113, 114 for Sert. So Angstji doing better than Sert was through the first two sectors. Coming towards the bus stop now. Let's see.
I'm not doing anything while I wait. Sorry, Colin, I'm watching qualifying. Is the track looking wet?
As we come on
Or is
to
that
the
just
start
me?
finish straight now. DRS open, run to the line is quite short here. Set a 141.6.
There's definitely
So
tyre
decent
tracks
lap
there.
time
I don't
for
think
the
they're
Alfa
like
Romeo driver. Let's
burning,
see now, Sert,
burnout tracks.
as he's gone second fastest with 142.7.
Apologies.
Next
Wasn't
car
supposed
to
to
the
be.
line, we had Echo 143.0 goes third fastest. Then we have Cyber 43.0 as well, just slightly pipping.
So
Echo
I'm
there.
watching remote,
Rufy now
see how
into
my
the bus stop
teammate
as
does.
139 middle sector for him, not too bad. To the line now, where is he going to put his car? It's a 142.500 goes second fastest, very satisfying time. Sert actually exactly 2 turns behind that, 142.700.
Nil point, Red Dog.
Then we have the Ferrari of remote second fastest, a 141.7
One of
for
4 or
him.
5 drivers, I think, on 0 points still.
And ICU just starting his lap now. Barbans goes third fastest, a 141.9. And Berkey through the bus stop, he is going to set a 142.9, 7th fastest as it stands for him. And then Shamban into the pit lane. He invalidated his lap, unfortunately. Takubi coming towards Blanchimont. Where can he put his Mercedes car?
A handful.
As we
Typically,
come towards the bus stop now,
just
looking
finishing
at that
won't get you
100 metre
points.
board on the left.
So there'll
Flicking
usually
left,
be
then right,
11, 12,
or right,
13
then
cars
left, sorry.
finish.
And to the line, it's a
So they're
141.9
generally not
for
crash
him.
vests.
Just 100th faster than Barbans, putting him into third place. ICU, the only driver on a push lap now. He has a bit of traffic in front of him. He's managed to navigate a couple cars already. Just one more in front of him now. Losing the rear a little bit there through Pouon. It's very easy to do that. We saw Giovinazzi in 2019 on the penultimate lap of that race. Lost the car, lost him points in that race actually. ICU now coming through onto the back straight, down towards Blanchimont we go, taking the shortest possible line. Picked up a little bit of grass there on the right-hand side, but it's not going to affect him. This is basically a straight, flicking it now into Blanchimont towards the bus stop chicane. There's a Alfa Romeo off track there, getting out the way. A couple cars, more traffic here as well. ICU now to the line. Can he go fastest of all? No, he can't. It's only 5th fastest of him. Potentially used tyres on that car. Mufi going very slowly through the bus stop. I think he's run out of fuel. That would be the logical explanation for that one. Berkey coming into the pit lane. Bowie and Shuriken now on laps. Shuriken coming down the Camel Straight towards Lecom. And then Malmedy flicking it in now, right.
Who would run out of fuel on a
Very
qualifying
fast
lap
corners.
in
It's very tricky
Spa?
to carry the speed through there. That section of corners can lose you so much time if you get it wrong. And then downhill Bruxelles, turn 8. Another tricky braking zone. No name, and then we're on the run now down the hill towards Pouon. Let's see, can he keep it within the track limits here as he flicks it in? Yes, he can, playing it again quite safe compared to what we're probably going to see on the final laps in Q3. But now, let's see, Shuriken coming to the middle sector. It's a 1
Yeah,
minute
I do like Chocolate's commentary.
13.7.
He's
Looking decent
very
so
good.
far for the Williams driver. Let's see how it compares when he comes to the end of this lap. Couple tenths up on what some of the guys around him have been doing.
You should really consider therapy, given the fixation you have on poo, Colin.
We also got Bowie and Craggy also on laps. Bowie coming towards Blanchimont now. Shuriken to the line. Sets a 1 minute 42.0. 5th fastest. Just misses out on Barbans by a 10th. Barbans retires. He feels comfortable in P4. Bowie now to the line. Coming towards the bus stop, actually. Is going to set, as we approach the line, a 1 minute 42.1. Just another 10th off of Shuriken. We've got Shamban and Cracky. Cracky coming through Stavilo. Let's see what
that's basically where I've been. I've DNF'd twice, I think.
Out of Q2.
Jeddah and Hungary. Hungary was on the last lap, pushing to try and make up a place from 16th to 15th or something, and I only dropped the place. Whereas in Jeddah, I was in about 12th.
So to the
with
line
somebody
now
in
for
front of
Craggy,
me
it's a
who had
1:42.9, 11th fastest as it stands.
somebody in front of me had penalties, and after I went out,
Shamban,
2 or 3 others retired, which meant I would have scored points.
Is he going to be able to hook this lap up? 5.5 minutes left in the session. As long as he has fuel, I think he should be able to make it back to the pit lane. He'd struggle a bit if he runs out of fuel at the end of this lap. But there still should be plenty of time. 1 minute 40 lap times. Maybe 3 minutes to get back to the pits without fuel. It shouldn't be too horrible for him. But now
Sanjay, Colin, change the subject, or you can have 10 minutes to find something else to talk about.
Teammate currently sat in 13th with a 1:43.0. Can he beat that as he comes to the line? Yes, he can. It's a 1:42.6 for him.
Last chance.
Now we just have a couple of cars heading back to the pit lane. Nobody currently on a flying lap.
Hey, Red Dog, you can see what I look like.
Just looking at some of
who do you think I am in this league? Definitely on the older end of the spectrum.
Right now,
it's quite amusing when people like Cert say, God, I feel really old. I'm 25 now.
Cert currently sat in
yeah,
P10,
fair enough.
but only 200th ahead of his teammate Rabin in P11.
In this league, it's pretty good. The racing is,
so he
90% clean.
Mufi also only a couple tenths ahead of Cert.
I was 25, 30 years ago, so I win.
Running new tyres that they can still
they do submit incident reports after the race. Most people record their races.
Following suit as well.
Yeah, most people record their races and then
Chambon is
will
gonna
submit
be-
clips of any incidents they've
Chambon,
been involved
I
in.
think there's a chance that Chambon could get
And then they will
that lap.
get analysed,
I'd say
and
quite close
there
to
are
the
penalties
end.
issued
I
after
think
each
there's
race if
potential that some
people
drivers
deserve.
could
I got
find
one
the
myself
time
in
to
the
beat
last
that.
race.
It's only half a second
Oh no, it's
for
Spain.
certain.
Yeah, that
Rain
was the
to
last
find
race.
that.
Yeah,
Couple tenths for Luffy, and he would be in the elimination
I'm
zone there.
sure I saw rain there.
It's a bit risky. He should have time to come back
But yeah,
and
so
do
you know,
another
there are
lap,
only
though.
typically 2 or 3.
I expect
I think
more
the most number of
patience.
penalties I've
He's
seen is
much
4 or
faster that
5 in a
time
race.
in Q1 than that, so he should
Yeah, that's me.
safely be able to set another lap as long as he's able to keep it within the track limits. And I think
I lost the rear in between turn 1 and turn 2 in Spain.
And then that group after
Yes,
Bowie,
there is a
P6 and up. I think there
is a full
marginal,
grid
but they
with
should be safe at least.
a number of reserves to fill in the
Bowie is
spots for
hanging
any
on
of
to track just to
the
be safe.
the
Surt's going
the full-time
past
drivers that
Luffy
can't
there.
make a race. And this is the only league I race in.
Start their laps.
They are recruiting for the next season, though.
Gamble.
There's a good chance there'll be
I
2
assume it's not
tiers
coming
at
up. There
least
we
in the
go.
next season.
Shuriken retires
So
from
exclamation mark
the
SDRL if you are
qualifying
interested.
section. Kubi is going out of
There
the
is a
track as
Discord
well, so
server.
maybe-
If you check out
maybe
the
track
SDRL
evolution,
_ official
the
channel on
new
Twitch,
tyres
which is where the
could
commentary you
put
can
some
hear
out
is
the
coming
race, so
from,
I'm not too sure. Maybe it's a
then
useless
you
initiative
will be able
to
to get a
practice
Discord
in,
link from there.
ready for Q3.
And they are
Build
accepting
a full
sign-ups for
power
reserves
task
for
in
the remainder of
session.
this
Here we go
season,
now with Surt
as
into
well as
Vassals.
sign-ups for full-time drivers for next season. And chances are, like I say, there's
Let's
going to
see
be at least
what
2
he
tiers
can
next
do
season.
right now. Let's have a look actually quickly while Surt is going down the Camel Straight at the Q1 times. 10th place was a 42.1 set by Shuriken. So
I'm certainly planning on staying. The only issue for me next season is going to be if I end up in a different tier, whether the races fit in with my streaming schedule. I'll have to make a call as to whether I'm prepared to juggle my streaming schedule around to fit in with the races, but I'm certainly doing the rest of this season. I missed one race a couple of weeks ago because I was on holiday,
given the track
which sadly was Japan, which is one of my favourite tracks.
12th position in Q1.
But I
Let's
don't
see
intend
what
missing
these
any
guys
more.
can do, though.
They're running
Surt's now
pretty
coming
much
together,
up
so he
until
does
the
have a
release
Mercedes
date
in
for
front of him, who is gonna have
124
to get out his way.
is
He
when
might
this
pick
season
up a toe
finishes.
here. Surt is 7 tenths up through the middle sector. He's currently on for a 42.0. Gets a bit of a toe there off of the Mercedes of Craggy, I believe that was. Now through Blanchimont, he's going to get not really a toe off of that Aston Martin, a bit too far off of the line, into the final braking zone of the lap though. Can Surt get himself out of Q2 here? Coming to the line now, Surt is going to set a 1 minute 41.8. He goes third fastest, ahead of Shuriken and Barbans, who have both retired from the session. They look to be at risk now.
Hey, no worries, Red Dog. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to have you in the league.
Laps behind. Next car to the line is
there's no shame in that. I think I'm almost certainly going to be there myself next season. I'm definitely popping up all the timesheets this season. So,
who's 8 tenths up, nearly 9 tenths up. He is looking to find time on his lap as well. Could be on to go for a similar time as Surt if he can find some time through the bus stop. 2 seconds.
one way to find out, Sanjay.
Flag is out.
There is a qualification procedure. They ask you just do a short qualifying session at, I think it's Hungary and Monza, just to show what sort of times you can set.
For Cyber, very much at risk with that lap time. Next car to the line is going to be Echo in the Alpine there, a second up on his time. As it stands, he is looking to.
You have to have a good reason not for making a race, and if you miss, I think it's 3 races without,
is he able
a sensible reason, you will lose your seat.
Maybe it was Takubi. A second
but they do have reserves to fill in for, like say, I missed Japan because I was on holiday, and they had a reserve fill my seat.
Chambon into the knockout zone. Is he going to be able to find the time to get out here? Shuriken looking
Sir
very much
Dogan,
at risk now. All
he
these
will
drivers
be
trying to waste
streaming
so much time.
his
Bowie
POV
coming
if
towards
you
the
want
line.
to check
Is he
him
gonna
out.
be able to find some
SER. In
improvement
fact,
as
let me give him
well?
a shout
Yes,
out.
he can. He goes second fastest. Shuriken down to 9th. ICU behind as well. It looks like Shuriken could be out here in qualifying. Next car to the line is Berkey. What time is he going to do on his new set of softs? It's 5th fastest for Berkey. Shuriken down to 10th. He is almost out of qualifying here. Next car is going to be ICU. Shuriken is out. ICU goes second fastest. Barben's
Yeah,
at risk now. Echo is
Sirt's
out
a
as
good
well.
guy. He does
Obviously,
run
both
some good
Alpines
lobbies
out of
as well.
qualifying. Shanban and Mufi,
Yeah,
the
and it's
two
some
that
of his
can
longer
overthrow
events
it.
are really good
Shanban
fun
now
as well.
marginally up on his time. Not much found through the first two sectors. Coming towards the finish line though. Is
I wonder
he
why that
gonna
video
be able
clip isn't
to
playing.
get out of qualifying too?
Wonder if
No,
that's
he can't. It's
my
only
end
11th
or
fastest.
the clip.
Last car on a lap now is Mufi, but he is invalidated. He's into the pit lane. Barben scrapes through by 0.02 of a second. Very close for the Alpine driver there. Almost out of qualifying. Oh, have I been muted?
Not necessarily on all of the SDRL races, yes. Correct, it's 50%.
Yeah.
But on the other events he does, he
15
tends to do
milliseconds
either
separating
short,
Barbens and Shanban.
occasionally one shot, but usually short or
Very
full
close
quali for them.
between the pair of them.
Typically
Shanban
short.
just missing out, unfortunately. They're such a long lap for a gap.
SDRL though is
Beside them.
full
Look at the
quali,
gap
50%
between
race.
Shanban and Echo, 2 milliseconds between them. 10th, 11th, and 12th, covered by 17 milliseconds. That was extremely close between those three drivers, and unfortunately, Barben's coming out on top, making it into Q3. The other two knocked out.
So we've lost
in
Shanban,
Q2.
Echo, Shuriken, and Cyber.
In Q2,
Oh,
though.
and one other.
So congratulations to him. Not
Mufi.
won anything yet though.
Yeah, look how close the bottom is. The gap between P10 and
in this fight for pole,
12
we were saying,
is
Shanban, Echo,
200ths of a
Cyber,
second.
and Mufi out in Q2.
In fact,
Look at the gaps between Barben, Shanban, and Echo.
P7 down to
extremely close
P12 is
Shuriken also
barely a
quite
tenth and a
close
half,
to being able to
2
make it.
tenths.
Had he gone for another lap, I think he would have had the pace to make it. As he was on those used tyres. And also the McLaren's not too far off. And look how close the midfield is as well. Remote, Berkey, Craggy, only separated by 200ths. This is looking like a very close battle as we head into Q3, the top 10 shootout. Who is going to take pole here? My money is on ICU. But as we just saw in Q2, Takubi is going to bring him a fight.
Okay, so as Q3 starts, I'll leave you in the capable hands of chocolate. I'm going to go
If anybody wants to
take
wants
a
to
loo
say what they
break.
think,
I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Put it into the chat, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see who is going to be heading out onto track first. So I see movement in the Ferrari garage, I believe. Yes, Remote's garage. I can see a mechanic coming out of now. Also in, I believe that's the McLaren. No, it's the Alpine garage. We can see ICU also heading out in a second. So a couple drivers making their way out onto the track now. Goat predicting a pole for Unxji. Kilza expects a sub 140. A 1 minute 39 from ICU. I would be very surprised if they get that far, to be honest. 139 is quite a ridiculous pace, to be honest. But first car out on track, Barben's in the Alpine after his recent transfer from McLaren to Alpine. Wasn't a great Q2 performance for him, very nearly out, but he did scrape through. Let's see, can he redeem himself in this final qualifying session? Let's have a quick look at the previous session times while we wait for the drivers to make their way around. So in Q1 we had ICU on a 41.3, Remote a 41.5, Takubi a 41.5. Q2, the top three was Takubi 41.0, ICU 41.2, and Bowie only a 41.6. So that gap did spread out. Potentially some guys running some used tyres there. A couple drivers not going out for second laps potentially. We will see. But I think this is going to be a very close battle for this final in this final session here. Let me just fix this. Okay, so Brabant's now coming to the bus stop. There we go. Okay, on to start the first lap of Q3 now. Shuriken predicting a 40.745 for pole position. We will see how close he gets. Following the trend of the first two qualifying sessions, it wouldn't be too surprising. Brabant's losing the rear out of La Source there. That's going to have cost him some time. And it's such a long run, flat out, from La Source all the way through Eau Rouge, up Radion, and then towards Lake Com. You're going to be looking at losing probably a couple tenths just from that one small mistake, maybe even up to half a second. 29.9 first sector for him, still not bad for him. Raben that's Cert behind, just gone through the first sector split as well.
Once we get down to about 5 minutes left of Q3, I'll run a prediction for the race result.
Everybody else, 30-0, 30-0, 33.
See where you think I'm going to finish. If I finish at all, that is one of the options.
They are very close behind, less than a tenth between three of the drivers. Another 29.9 on the table for Takubi. He is keeping pace with Brabant on this first run. Let's see now, as he comes to the middle sector split, Brabant is going to set another purple sector as he is the first one through. A 42.8 middle sector split for him. Now the run down to
ever the optimist, Red Dog.
Crosses the middle sector.
You've seen my times.
Not a good middle sector for Cert so far.
And you've also seen me spin several times in quali.
Through the middle sector, he was a 10th down through sector 1. He's a 10th up through the middle sector. Remote and Brabant on very similar pace right now. Brabant's across the line now. It's a 40.8 for him.
Thank you for your faith.
Very good lap. Let's see, though. We have Cert. He is coming to the line now. And he says a 43.7. I think that's on used tyres. Remote now coming to the line as well. Did he invalidate? I think Remote might have invalidated. He was on for a good lap. A 40.850. He was going to be only a hundredths off of Brabant's, but he invalidated that lap. Next car to the line. ICU also invalidating, I think. Yes.
A lot of people invalidating laps.
Struggling here with the track limits. Takubi goes second fastest with a 41.3, fastest final sector for him. But yeah, lots of cars improving here. Angstji fastest now in the first sector, 43.7, second sector for him. We have Craggy now coming to the line, and then it's Berkey closely following behind. Craggy sets a 41.5, third fastest. A Mercedes 2.3 as it stands. Berkey across the line sets a 41.6 just behind Craggy. And then we have Angstji. Had a decent start to this lap. Let's see what he can do now across the line. It's only a 41.6. That middle sector letting him down. Lost quite a lot of time compared to the people around him. And then Raben, 41.9, goes ahead of his teammate here on the first runs of Q2. ICU and Remote, the only two drivers yet to set a time in Q3. Everybody else on in laps.
So Cert's lap there was
I'm not sure
a couple of seconds down on everybody else. Chocolate did suggest that was due to him running old tyres or used tyres.
He's 10 seconds down through the middle sector.
So we'll see how Cert's second lap goes.
ICU's matching or decent sectors might complete this lap to get a delta. Yes, he will. But I believe Raben, I keep saying Raben. Remote will be into the pit lane. ICU goes 7th fastest with a 41.7. Almost a second off of Brabant's pole time. Brabant's currently a couple tenths out in front. Almost 3 tenths, yeah, out in front. And then 7 tenths back to P3. The gaps right now looking very large. But yeah, we'll be expecting pretty much everybody back into the pit lane. 5 minutes left in the session. ICU not going
Okay,
to
so
right now. He's started
place your
on the
bets
front
for
row,
the
I
race
believe, in
result,
every race he's participated
or
in.
my finishing position at any rate. 5
So being
minute
down in
prediction
P7,
going on.
he's not going to be all that pleased.
Feel free
to
to
be
gamble
honest.
your channel points.
Let's see though, he will have time for
The
one
options
more
I
lap
believe
lap
are
at the end of the
DNF
session.
16th to 20th, 11th to 15th, 6th to 10th, and 1st to 5th.
Who will have to wait and see.
Brave man who picks either of the
what he
top
is
2
able to
options.
do. So the track is going to quieten down a little bit in very soon. Yeah, I saw that remote. In a second, once I see you guys back to the pit lane, we're going to have no cars out on track.
So the calm before the storm.
But yeah,
I'll do my best to
4 minutes
disappoint
left
you
in the
by
session.
finishing
It
9th,
shouldn't
Colin.
take too long before we see cars back out. Spa is quite a long lap, time and distance wise, so we should expect to see some drivers heading out in a minute or so to start preparing for their final runs in qualifying. Remote probably going to be going out a bit early, maybe. I'm not too sure about that. Certain Remote not really having representative times though so far. Remote obviously invalidating that lap, which would have put him second fastest as it stands, 15 milliseconds behind Barbens. Cert on a 43.7, which I believe is used tyres 2 seconds off of his teammate, 3 seconds off of pole. We were seeing low 42s in Q2 to make it into Q3, so we'll expect to see a faster time from the Ferrari driver. Angstji heading back out onto track now. So is one of the McLarens. Not sure yet which one it's going to be. Lots of cars heading out as well. We've got a Mercedes and the Ferrari of Remote. It is Raven.
Come on, Remote.
First. So we've got 4 cars out on track. Cert's now heading out as well. Lots of drivers making their way out now. 2 minutes 40 left in the session. They will be getting ready to set their final laps here, warming those tyres up to that optimum temperature and getting that grip nice and ready. Trying to put as little wear on the tyres while keeping them at temperature. It's tricky to do, but if you drag those brakes, it makes it a lot easier. Angstji will be the first person to do a lap here. I don't think he'll make it with enough time to do a second out lap. 2 minutes 10 left on the clock. It would be quite close to making it, but I don't think he's going to do so. Everybody now out on track. 2 minutes left on the clock, so they do all have plenty of time. About 30 seconds margin for the last
This is where all the fun happens.
ICU,
Let's see who can put it on the...
yeah, Angstji is going to be the first.
My money's on
to
Remote.
set a lap.
What's a
1
Ferrari?
minute 40 now left on the clock, so he will not have time to go again. This will be everybody's final laps here in Q3. So here we go now with Angstji into the bus stop chicane, setting his lap up, and off we go. DRS open on that Sauber car towards La Source, braking nice and late for turn 1. Now down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion, some of the most iconic corners of the Formula 1 calendar. Very easy to lose your lap here. But he plays it very safe with those track limits. Along we go now down the Kemmel Straight. What sector time are we looking at for Angstji here? It's a 29.9. He's down on his first lap, but I believe his first lap was a purple sector, so it's not too bad. We now see the 2 McLarens have started their laps as well. Remote just about to start his, while Angstji coming through turn 8 and into No Name Corner now. I'm keeping an eye on those sector times just to see if anybody is going faster. Into Pouon for the Alfa Romeo. Let's see where he can go. Not seeing any purple sectors yet. Raben very close though, slightly faster than what Angstji was able to do. Coming now towards the middle sector split for Angstji. 3/10.
Just repowering the wheel, trying to avoid starting the race with no force feedback.
Doesn't look like it's going to be enough for pole though, unless he has time to find in the final sector.
Thanks for your face, Sanjay.
It's looking all right so far for him. Takubi's set a purple sector 1 though. He is flying along. Let's see, Angstji now coming into the bus stop chicane. Does he have more time to find in this lap? His middle sector split would have put him up to P2, or P3, sorry. Can he go higher? Across the line now, it's a 1:41.1 for him. Second fastest, just ahead of Takubi. But there are other cars behind on laps as well. Rayburn, the next one, 6/10 up on his lap. Currently on for a 41.3, would put him 4th fastest. But again, potentially some time to find in the middle sector for the McLaren driver. Let's see what he can do now into the bus stop chicane. His teammate close behind as well. We're going to see another lap from the McLaren very soon. Losing the rear though a little bit on the exit of that final corner. 4th fastest for him. It's a 41.1. Very close between 2, 3 and 4. Sert's now coming through the bus stop. He's up on his time by a massive delta. Across the line, it's only 6th fastest. A 1:41.5. Next is Remote. Yet to set a lap. Let's see. Can he propel himself up? It's 2nd fastest only. A 1:40.880.
400s, 45,000s.
1:40.850.
No, 15,000,
that
sorry.
lap that Remote did invalid earlier on in the session. That invalidation
Oh,
has
Takubi
cost
goes
Remote
2nd.
P2
Sorry,
here.
that's...
But Angstji still...
Yeah, I was right. 45,000's back to Remote, and
Takubi
Takubi now gone second.
Very close together. Bowie now coming through the bus stop. Berkey and Barban's close behind. Bowie 6th fastest across the line. Berkey then goes 6th fastest. Barban's across the line goes even fastest. A 1:46 for him. Craggy 1:41.3. ICU now the final car across the line. Has he taken pole? I don't think he has. I think he's invalidated his lap. ICU is going to start the Belgian Grand Prix from 10th place on the grid. Barbans takes pole by a 10th of a second. ICU having that mistake on that first lap, invalidating, went for a second run just to get a time on the table. It wasn't fast enough to get him any more positions than P10 after that invalidation on the final lap. ICU is going to start the race from 10th on the grid.
This is it, everybody.
Takes pole by over a 10th.
I'm going for a medium-hard strategy, I think.
As Remote predicted. Takubi
the last few times I've raced here, the soft tyres have just destroyed themselves.
Not invalidated. His first lap from Remote ending up 300s behind. Then it was Angstji, Rayburn, Berkey, Bowie, Craggy, Sert and ICU. That mid-pack again very close. 4th down
Sanjay.
to 8th, separated by 2.5 tenths of a second. What a qualifying session. Sorry, 4th down to 9th I believe it was actually. But now onto the grid.
You believe,
We will
Sanjay?
be selecting our strategies.
This is the man who's ready to watch me spin. Thanks, Sanjay. Hard, medium? Oh, medium hard. I'm going medium hard. No TC, no ABS.
Alright, session is about to start with rain on the way. This race could get exciting. Here come the lights though, as we get ready to start this Belgian Grand Prix. We have 5 lights. And we are away here in Spa. It's a good start for Barbans. He's going to maintain the lead out of this race start. Although I see Takubi trying it around the outside. Angstji also trying it around Remote. Barbans is going to maintain the lead, I think, but down the hill, Takubi has got the better run out of turn 1. He is going to take the lead, wheel to wheel now, into overrooms they go. Angstji and Remote. It's very tricky to keep it clean through here. They have managed to do so, though. ICU
well, that's a good start.
Up from 10th to 7th off of
the invalidation.
Now down the camel straight we go. Barbans in that slipstream. Here comes Remote to the inside, having a look. Here comes Angstji now pulling out alongside Remote. They're going to try it now into Lake Com. Not quite able to make that overtake happen. It's very tricky to make overtakes here, especially at the race start. A little bit of lag there from the Alfa Romeo behind. Bowie getting overtaken by Berkey. Ungstry up the inside, and there's a crash. Barbans is round. Lots of chaos on this race start. Lots of cars with wing damage. We have a virtual safety car. A couple 5-second time penalties given out, but we have a massive crash there. Lots of the top guys getting involved in that. Ungstry, Barbans both taking wing damage. Bowie getting involved as well, dropping down some victories. From the back of the grid, pretty much. Dark Viper up to 10th. We have a virtual safety car here. Takubi and Remote, I believe, have survived. Who else has survived this? Who has taken some wing damage as well? ICU has no
only a
front
virtual,
wing.
but yeah, I don't know if any of them were actual full DNFs.
He's going to be into the pits at the end of this lap. Bowie, the other driver that's showing up his front wing damage for me, he's missing his front wing as well.
Not now, way too early.
I expect Barbans may have some wing damage. I believe Ungstry has
I'm not
wing
doing
damage
22
as well.
laps on a hard tyre at round Spa.
Into the Alpine car there. He is missing an end plate, so a couple of drivers with wing damage here. Unfortunately, it's not a full safety car. Takubi leads us on the first lap under this virtual safety car from Remote, then Raven. And then once ICU pits for that wing damage, it's going to be set up before virtual safety car is in, so the drivers who have to come into the pits are not going to benefit. Takubi leads us away after the first lap, DRS not enabled until the start of lap 3. So we have ICU, Craggy, Bowie, Berkey and Ungstry all into the pits after that lap 1 incident. And very unfortunately, they are going to be dropping.
I'm just so slow in La Source.
18 seconds, I believe, is the pit loss here. And there's always chaos to come in Spa. Down the chemical straight now, Takubi has managed to pull away from Remote. Then you're not going to see too many overtakes out front. But Sert Dogan closing in on his teammate now is going to pull out alongside and ahead of his teammate. He doesn't need a DRS. He's going to get up to P3. Currently the podium positions for Sert. As it stands, he's yet to take a podium this season, but it could now come after this switch to McLaren. Raven under pressure from Shamban as we head down to Bruxelles. Not going to be seeing a move there though. It's a very tricky braking zone to get right. Downsy closing in on Josh as well. Not quite close enough to making a move there either. But now, on the run through No Name, could we see some people daring to make the move into P1? It's a bit of a tricky braking zone to do that into. Not quite able to make a move here for the Shamban. All over the back of Clayton. Yes, Shavakin pressuring him from behind as well. Could try into Fania, but I think he's a bit too far back. Not a very heavy braking zone. The best overtaking opportunities on this track into the bus stop and into Lake Holm. It's quite tricky to overtake through the middle sector. Not too many heavy braking zones, but as we always see here in SDRL, people do dare to make it happen. Toad, I'm not too sure. All I saw was Barbas who spun around at Bruxelles and everybody piled into the back of him. I'm not too sure how he got spun.
Try to stay with them, they might make a mistake.
That's all I know. As of right now, Shamban closing in on Raven into the bus stop. Josh getting past Echo as well. Dantax and AD fighting as well. Could we see a move from AD down into the bus stop? He's a bit too far back to be making that one. Now down towards La Source we go. Josh and Echo fighting here. Echo has the inside line. He's later on the brakes. He does make that move. Downsy into the back of Josh there a little bit. Getting a better exit now on the run down to Eau Rouge. Down the hill. Who is going to get ahead as we head down the hill? Through Eau Rouge now. Downsy backing up, playing it safe. Doesn't want to cause any chaos here. Shuriken, Shamban, Cyber very close together. We have a train now formed from 3rd down to 7th. Very close together. Here comes Raven now getting past his teammate. Shuriken and Shamban now fighting it as well into Fania. Here comes Cyber on a run, and there's contact between those two drivers. Shuriken out of the race, so is Cyber. We're going to get a safety car here, and that is a big crash. Shuriken just losing the car there, collecting Cyber as he went for an overtake into Fania. We have a full safety car. This really benefits the likes of ICU, Bowie, Berkey, Crane and Ungstry here, as they will now be able to
So,
back up.
safety car's going to be out for 2 laps. That'd be 70 laps on the hard tyre.
Into the strategy. Takubi on the soft compound tyres. Murphy as well.
Still seems an awful lot to me.
Why they have been able to pull away and make some positions up here. Remote, Raven start on the hards. Echo, Barbans also start on those hards. Maybe we're going to see some pistol.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
3-second time penalty for Josh for track limits there. Under that safety car, Toad, Shuriken and Cyber. I think Shuriken lost the rear and just collected Cyber. If you click it, or the VOD is available, so you can go back and watch that. But we do have a full safety car now. Is anybody going to dare to make their way into the pit lane there? There we go, Takubi coming in. Early pit stop for him off of those soft compound tyres. Remote stays out to take the lead of this race. Raven and Sert also doing the same. Shanvan stays out, Dark Viper stays out. What a race start from Dark Viper, by the way. 11 positions gained. Josh gonna be up 40. It's 12 from Dark Viper up. Josh up 14 positions. They are on a flyer on this race start here. Josh, the highest I think he's ever run this season, to be honest. Currently his best finish is P9. He's currently running P6. It's a very good start for the Red Bull driver. AD up to P10 as it stands. He might, he is going to stay P10. But AD running in the points right now. Could we see AD taking his maiden points finish here at Spa?
Yeah, well, that's commentator's curse. Thanks, Chocolate.
AD said he doesn't really think he has the pace. But, like I said, we do see some Chaos 2 cars getting involved in the incident there. We saw the lap 1 incident as well. It could be the time for AD to take some points home. You never know what's going to happen here. So, as for the guys who have pitted, Takuri pitted onto some hard compound tyres, came out down in P8. He's probably going to have to pace. Craggy has left the session. Let's see if we can get him to invite. Craggy, do I have an ad? I don't have an ad. I think Start should be able to get him in. Otherwise, though, alright, Craggy. I don't know if you added me, but yeah, if you let me know once you're back in. I sent you a friend request, I believe, or I already had you added. I'm not too sure. But yeah, if I don't have you added, then just go on our site and I'll get you back in. But yeah, as for tyre strategy, we have Takuri in P8. Well, there we go, there's some information from the chat. Rain in 10 minutes, not going to be too heavy, but we might see 18 drivers making their way onto the intermediates. You only need 2 laps of intermediate.
Rain in 10 minutes, apparently.
Where the intermediates are faster to make that time up. The slick tyres are about 10 seconds a lap slower in the wet conditions. So even if it's just for 2 or 3 laps, it is beneficial to pit onto that set of intermediate tyres. And also we have Downsy onto some hard sand at P11, Newfie,
yeah,
Medians and P12, Dantax, Berkey on
it's a very long lap to make it through on the wrong tyres as well.
After a really poor start from him, some new mediums. He's down in 15th, and then we also have Craggy and Unks.
Not now.
18th on some new mediums.
Wet in rain in 10 minutes, they said.
After a couple of drivers starting on those as everybody has elected for a set off. Softs. Craggy is back into the session. That's all good.
We think we might see some rain. ETA
so
about
we don't
15
need to worry about that.
Dries definitely.
Mark reckons 15 minutes for me.
Yeah, so Josh, the only driver so far to receive a penalty, has 3 seconds as it stands, unfortunately for him. Could come back to bite him later on in the race, especially if we do get a late safety car. There you go. We can see who has made the pit stop. So Creedy, Downsy, Newfie, Bowie, Dantax.
Okay,
made 1
expect
pit
to
stop.
see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
2.
Now saying 10 to 15 minutes.
See how these new tyres compare to the old tyres of that top 7. Is to be able to cut his way back to the field before that rain comes down? Because if the rain does come down hard enough, everybody's going to be onto a set of intermediates. It could come down to who can time the strategy right. Who will be ready to jump first onto that set of intermediates. It can be risky going early, because you will risk putting a lot of wear onto your set of inters, but that undercut could be worth it. You never know around here. It's such a long lap. Often you see the rain on 1 lap. If you wait another lap, it's full inters conditions by the time you get back around, and it could be too late in fact. You've already lost too much time on your in-lap. Simply because it is such a long lap, it can be up to 2 minutes in the wet conditions. You can risk losing a lot of time. But everybody has caught up. The safety car should be in at the end of this lap, and it will be down to remote to dictate the pace on the in-lap. We are just coming to the sector line now, and there we go.
Let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap.
So
when the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
Very good showing from McLaren Shamban so far obviously benefiting from a few drivers getting caught out at the start, but they are currently sat in P2 and P3, looking like a decent result for them. After the last 2 races out, they have taken a win. One with Barbara at Japan and one with Raven last time out at Barcelona. But now we wait for Remote to make the jump. When is he going to go racing again? Safety car is into the pit lane. It's all up to Remote to make this decision now. And coming into the bus stop now. When is he going to make that decision to get back on the throttle, push away? He's done it now. Here we go racing again in Spa.
Right, we need
Remote
to get past
getting
here.
a very decent start there. Getting a nice jump on Raven behind. Doesn't really look like anybody's going to be close enough. Making a move into La Source though. Potentially Downsy having a look on AD further back. Here he goes around the outside. AD defending that inside line very nicely. But Downsy's going to get the up and under, and there's contact between Downsy and AD. They come together. AD is spinning around. He was down, he was up in P10. And now he's dropped all the way to the back. Downsy has some wing damage as well. That might get investigated by the FIA. Here comes Takubi now getting past Echo. Josh in the slipstream of Takubi as well. Could he dare to make the move around the outside into Lecom? Not quite close enough to make that move. Takubi getting on the power much earlier with those newer tyres. He's able to keep that position ahead of the Red Bull up to P6 already on that restart.
I have to say I didn't feel it. I thought it was just me too heavy on the throttle.
There. Turn 8, very tricky overtaking opportunity, but he has managed to get it done. Getting a nice exit out of the previous corner, setting him up very nicely. Dark Viper and Shamban all over the back of Raven. Surt is pulling away in P2 from his teammate. Raven starting to hold these guys up a little bit. Maybe a bit of team orders here between the McLaren guys working together to try and get that gap. It will definitely help when the intermediate conditions come. We saw it in the F1 Sim Racing series actually as well, with Ferrari, with Haas. It is possible to pull off if you can do it well.
Nowhere near time for them yet.
Trying to defend it. Now down towards the bus stop. Shamban in that slipstream. He is gaining rapidly, pulling out already through Blanchimont. Is he going to try it round the outside into the bus stop chicane? He is going to go for that move. He does get a hit, but there's contact between Raven and Shamban. Raven spinning Shamban round. Shamban losing a couple of positions. Dark Viper gets past. And so does Takubi. Takubi up to P5 now. Could we see Takubi having a look on Dark Viper now into La Source? Not quite close enough to make that move work. ICU sets the fastest lap of the race. He's up to P11 already after that poor start from him.
Yeah, if you would, just to remind me what lap it's on.
AD has stayed out, but he is only down in P17. Here comes Takubi now, down up through Orush and Radion onto the camel chain. Now Raven is going to be under so much pressure here, but from the 2 cars behind, Dark Viper pulling out to the left-hand side. Here comes Takubi to the inside line now, squeezing himself onto the grass. Is he going to make that move stick? Yes, he does, to the inside of the McLaren driver, getting up into P3. What a recovery on those new tyres from Takubi. Only 2 cars left, and he's back up into P1. Are we going to see any more overtakes further behind as well? Any drivers trying to cut their way through? ICU very close to the back of Bowie down in P10. He's going to try it. Sorry, that was Barbas and Josh through No Name Corner. Now here comes Bowie to the outside of Prawn. Is he going to try and make this one stick around the outside? He is going to try, and he has done it. Bowie round the outside at Prawn. What a move. ICU now getting past his teammate. Team orders there at Red Bull. He's getting let past. Nice work though from Bowie. What a move there. Mufi and Echo also getting very close together. Echo losing the rear though. Here comes the Mercedes of Craggy on Mufi through that corner. I can't remember the name of now. ICU getting past Bowie. They're going to go 3 wide through Blanchimont. Bowie having Ansu having a look as well. They're 2 by 2 through Blanchimont now. And there's contact. The Aston Martin stays spinning around. Mufi has front wing damage. He's into the barriers. There was contact. That was the inevitable 2 by 2 through Blanchimont. It's never going to work, guys. And we have another virtual safety car. Mufi has managed to survive that incident though, but that was so unfortunate for him. Virtual safety car is deployed. Remote leading 1.5
For what, Colin? I did consider softs.
Just behind him. Mega restart from Takubi up to P3.
Thanks, Red Dog.
He has that tyre advantage as well, which is going to help him. Raven in P4 still defending that position from Dark Viper and Shamban behind. Barban's up to P7, ICU up to P8, but Crikey, Anshi, Echo.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe softs until the rain comes, but
Okay,
not sure it'd be worth it.
We're going green. Maintain positive delta until
Let's
the green
see
flag.
now. Virtual safety car will probably be in relatively
Green
soon.
flag.
We've done about half a lap here. And drive through for Downsy. Drive through for Downsy there. Did anybody else get a drive through? It was just Downsy. That is really unfortunate. From down in P17, he's going to be dropping
There's that
very
bump.
far back now. He is not going to be happy with that one. Takubi all over the back of Sut now. As they head towards Fanya. I think we might see a move here. ICU goes past Barber into the Fanya as well. Not fighting that one. Barber's letting ICU through. He has the newer tyres. Angshu getting past Josh as well. On the exit, Josh had a try there, but he did not have the grip to keep that one going. Unfortunate though for those guys like Takumi getting past Surt on the exit of Stavolo. He's up into second place now. Could Surt try it though with that slipstream down towards the bus stop stand? I don't think he's quite getting enough. Craggy getting past Josh as well through Blanchimont. Lots of battles happening further back down the grid. Here comes Durkee having a look on Echo. He's going to try and get that up and under now on the exit of the final corner. He has the DRS, but so does Echo on the run down towards turn 1 last source. Who's going to get later on the brakes here? Echo has that inside line. Durkee has the outside. They're going to keep this one going all the way down the hill towards Eau Rouge now we go. Echo slotting in behind, taking that slipstream down the Kennel Stroke. He's going to get a very nice run up the hill now. Through Radion we go. Are we going to see a move here? ICU gets past Shamban with that
5
DRS.
minutes.
He could be sizing up a move on Dark Viper as well, coming down the Camel Straight. Raven getting overtaken by Dark Viper. Shamban had to try it on the outside there, not quite close enough. A little bit of contact. Raven almost losing the car there, but he does keep it going. Echo,
So what do you reckon, a couple of clicks of wing to go with the intermediates?
He does manage to get past. We have moved the outer defense and he's retired in the pit lane after that incident he had. Josh dropping down to 14th. He was running in P6 early on in the race. Those old
They're not great.
Not working out for him so far. Got down 8 positions from that safety car restart. Takubi up 6 positions from 8 up to second. 3 second penalty for Josh. Unfortunate for him. Barkins and Kraken still going at it though on this lap. Angshi now on the back of Bo in the Alfa Romeo. Could we be seeing another move into Blanchimont? Last time we saw a move there, it did not end well. But this time he's going to get the move done much earlier. I think he got a much better exit out of Stavolo. He has the inside line for Blanchimont 1. Into the second one, he's already ahead.
Utilize some of this energy. Come on.
Nice and easy move from him. Takubi all over the back of Remote now with those newer tyres. Are we going to see us look at the lead for the first time since that safety car when Takubi pitted onto those newer tyres? It's only a 3-lap tyre advantage, but it's proven very beneficial for him. Lots of close battles still throughout the midfield as we do have lots of drivers coming back through after some poor starts. ICU up to 5th now after that lap 1 incident. Here comes Takubi now down the Camel Straight. They're already putting out from the slipstream of Remote. DRS open now and down the Camel Straight. Takubi takes the race lead here. He has that tyre advantage and he's going to try and pull away.
I'm not boxing for hard
ICU
yet.
getting past Dark Viper as well. Here comes Raven on ICU as well, pulling to the outside. Could he try it round the outside into Lecom? No, he can't. Not quite close enough. He's trying to set up a switch back there. Craggy and Bowie fighting through Lecom as well. There's so many battles happening through the midfield. It's kind of hard to keep track of it. ICU, Dark Viper and Raven. Raven going deep and that's let Dark Viper and Angshi through.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap
Raven
ahead,
losing
please.
a couple positions in the space of 1 corner there. We have a DRS train formed from 5th all the way down to 12th. That is how close the racing is here. Craggy all over the back of Shanban here as we come down to Fanya. Is he going to pull to the left hand side? Yes, he does. Is he going to try the overtake? They almost have contact there as they go through, but they are still wheel to wheel. Heading down towards Stavolo they go. He has the inside line, does Craggy. Is he going to be able to edge his way ahead? Yes, he does. Almost loses the rear though. They're still going wheel to wheel now onto the back straight. Craggy takes the position. That's going to give Bo a nice run as well. On Shamban, down the straight in the slipstream. Here comes Echo as well. They're going 2x2 again as we head towards Blanchimont. Last time this happened, it did not end well, and there's another crash. Bowie is spun round. Second time we've seen them go 2x2. Second time we've seen a car sent spinning off at that corner.
We're expecting the rain.
Craggy stays in P8. Brabant's gaining a couple positions there, up to P10 now. Shamban dropping down, so is
Give it another lap.
So is Shamban. Berkey getting up to P9, opportunist move there on Barbans into turn 1. Barbans just going a little bit deep there.
But look, some people have already gone for inters.
Starting to spread out a bit. Could we see a move though from Dark Viper down the Camel straight in the slipstream of ICU? He is going to be gaining quite rapidly on the Red Bull driver as we come now down towards Lake Como. I don't think he's going to get close enough for a move though. He does just slot in behind. Here they go 3 wide though down the Camel straight. Berkey and Barbans into Lake Com. Who's going to come on ahead? Barbans has that inside line, but that switches to the outside. Back to the inside again for Barbans, and he does get that move done. Berkey still trying it though on the outside line into turn 8 Bruxelles. That's going to give Craggy a look now up the inside. Is he going to make that one stick now? The outside for No Name. Berkey has to back out of that one. He was going to get spun around otherwise. Unfortunately for him, he has to just back out. Angsty all over the back of Dark Viper now. Into Fania we go. Is he going to make this one stick? Trying it around the outside. That switches to the inside for the second half of the corner. Not able to make the move stick there. Champagne is on intermediate compound tyres. Interesting strategy tool. Are we going to see some rain from soon? There's raindrops on the track. The rain is falling here in Spa. Is it going to come down fast enough for that strategy to work for Champagne? He's gone for the undercut. Angsty gets past Dark Viper at Stavalo. But is this going to work out for him now? As we go through this race, lap 11 after 23, we're halfway through the race. The rain is starting to fall here. Craggy and Barber still very close together. Are we going to see a move into the bus stop chicane here? I think he is just going to wait here. Get that DRS down the Camel straight. Is anybody going to dare to come in for some intermediate tyres now? Shaban already on the inters.
Got to take the gamble, haven't I? I'm last anyway.
Josh gets past Shaban. Those intermediates not working so far. For Shan in the AlphaTauri, the track is still dry and the inters are about 5 seconds a lap slower on a dry track. They aren't working yet for the AlphaTauri driver. He's going to be picking up a lot of tyre wear as well. This might not be the right call. Here comes Craggy now on Barbers down the Camel Straight. ICU up to third place now, getting past Cert with that DRS down the Camel Straight. Here comes Craggy to the inside line, getting past Barbers. Barbers does not have the DRS. Craggy up to 8th now on his debut.
The inters the guys running are not working, it seems, so
he did take that race win out in Japan.
Maybe next lap, or this lap rather.
ICU now back up to third. Could he pull an interesting strategy call here to try and close that gap to Takubi and Remote? He is a couple seconds off, still has Cert within his DRS as it stands. Doesn't he want to break that to try and avoid the fight? The rain is still falling, but it's not quite getting damp enough. Let's go to Berkey. As you can see, the track still looks very dry. It looks quite similar to what we had in qualifying, actually, with those overcast conditions. It's probably going to be a little bit greasy. The driver's going to have to be careful here, but I don't think it's quite enough yet for those intermediates to work. And Shamban is dropping off of Josh, not as much as we would have expected on a completely dry track, but he is losing time nonetheless. Sertjogen managing to keep up with ICU. Is anybody this time around going to go for a set of intermediate tyres? None of the leaders pitting yet. Is anybody going to dare on this lap? I still think it's a bit too early for anybody to try it. Nobody bold enough to make that decision. As we head now down towards the last source.
Understood.
With this pack of 4 cars, Cranky, Barbers, Berkey and Echo still going at
Yeah.
it.
That guy is faster than me anyway, but
we could potentially see Dark Driver getting overtaken by Raven as well, gaining on him down the Camel Straight, half a second separating them. But Berkey, Barbans, Cranky, Echo all going to be fighting it as well down this Camel Straight. Raven is closing in on Dark Viper. In fact, he's going to go to the inside of Dark Viper, getting the position done, getting that move done up into P6 on this slippery track. Craggy not getting overtaken there. The rest of them were just too far back. DRS is still enabled. AD is into the pit lane. He's being bold. He's onto the set of intermediates. That's what we like to see. We like to see people taking that gamble, mixing the strategy up. It makes it a lot more interesting.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish
Dark
the race on
still
this
all over the
compound.
back of Raven, and the track is starting to look slightly more damp. Still not quite ready for intermediates, I don't think. But given the track length, one more lap could be full intermediate conditions. You really start to see a little bit of a shine on the surface. You can see Dark Viper struggling for grip on those medium compound tyres. They are coming to the end of their stint. But it's really going to come down to how hard this rain falls. whether it's going to be bad enough. 3-second time penalty for Sharakan. He is struggling on those intermediates. Now dropped 5 seconds from Josh. But this is just going to come down to whether the track gets wet enough. As for whether they are going to come in for some pit stops, is anybody going to make the gamble in this top pack? I don't think, as we saw last time around. Dark Viper into the pit lane. He's taking the gamble. Dark Viper coming into the pit lane for some intermediate compound tyres. So is Berkey. They feel the rain is falling. Let's see, can these guys make it work? It's going to be very interesting. They are fitting some intermediate tyres. Are those two? Is the rain going to fall? We can see the water starting to form on the track actually. You can see the drops starting to land on the track surface. It is getting wetter. This could be a very good strategy from these guys. As Barban's overtakes Craggy there, DRS still hasn't been disabled, so the FIA is still happy to keep it going, but the track is looking much more damp now into Bruxelles. Look how damp it's looking on the entry there. You can start to see the water settling here. And I think next time around it's going to be Inter's conditions. I think it's starting to get wet enough where we might see a lot more drivers. Look at the track now. You can see it. The water is starting to form on the track surface. It is definitely getting damp out here. I see you on the back of remote as well. Could we see the Red Bull sizing up a move on the Ferrari driver? As we head towards the bus stop chicane, we might be seeing them into the pit lane even at the end of this lap. You can see there's so much water on the track already. Only been half a lap since we last looked, and it is just settling so much more. I'm looking at that gap between Dark Viper and Dantax. Dark Viper is closing in on the other Hash driver. I think it's time for intermediates. Let's see what these guys think. These guys still staying out. They want to go one more lap, potentially try and take one set of intermediates again, save some tyre wear. In comes Unkshi. He's into the pit lane for a set of intermediates. Dark Viper is gaining fast on Dantax. Could it have been the right call to pit one lap earlier? With the length of the lap, Echo's into the pits as well. He is going to try it out on the intermediate compound tyres. Some of these drivers still yet to pit. We have yellow flags. Somebody has made a mistake. Who is it? I think it was Dantax. His teammate has gone past. Dantax making a mistake out of the final corner. Look how wet the track is now. It is time for intermediates. The top 7 yet to pit. Unkshi, the first car on the intermediates. Could he pull a blinder of an undercut here? The pit loss is about 18-19 seconds here, I believe. What is his gap to the leader? 23. He only has to gain 5 seconds on this lap. Unkshi could pull off an amazing undercut on this lap. Let's see what he can do. DRS is still enabled. ICU is past remote on this lap. He did manage to get that overtake done down the Kemmel Straight, but look how wet the track is. Could we see an undercut from Unkshi? Could Dark Viper get involved in it as well? He's only a second behind Unkshi. He will have slightly more worn tyres though, as he did hit a lap earlier when it was much drier. Lots of drivers off of the pack here right now though. Safety car would be needed to bring them back in. But if we do get a safety car now, it could bring some very interesting people into play. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see where Unkshi will come into this. Unkshi gained a second already in the first half of the middle sector on Craggy. He is gaining rapidly on those intermediate compound tyres. Let's see now, Takubi coming towards the bus stop. Is he going to be coming into the pits this time around? No, he doesn't. He stays out again. This is a very bold strategy from Takubi. Is he going to try and take the intermediates to the end? Remote into the pit lane. He is hauling it off. He doesn't want to. Surt into the pit lane as well. Is Rayburn going to have to stay out? Rayburn is in anyway. He doesn't want to take that double stack. The penalty from staying out in a wet track. Everybody is into the pit lane except for ICU and Takubi. Have they made a mistake with the strategy? Are they going to get undercut here by the likes of Unkshi and Dark Viper? Let's see Unkshi coming down the main straight. He is going to make a massive undercut. He's coming out ahead of Remote, I believe, in fact. He's going to be wheel to wheel with the Ferrari driver, but he gets a much better exit. So does Dark Viper. He gets ahead of Remote as well. DRS is now disabled. Unkshi is pulling the undercut. And look at the gap now to ICU and Takubi, 16 and 18 seconds respectively. Unkshi could take the race lead here with a blinder of an undercut. as it looks like Archie is going to take the race lead. Remote pitted for mediums. Did Remote forget to change his tyres? He's come out on mediums. What is this? What in the Ferrari strategy is this? Remote is throwing it all away. He's going to be dropping.
My teammates come out on mediums, it seems.
Again, surely. He's going to be losing so much time on those medium compound tyres. It's all getting lost, thrown away for the Ferrari team. It's all falling apart. They're going to need a safety car to bring this one back into it. Takubi and ICU getting closed in on by Angstu by seconds a lap. The gap is now down to 14. It was 17 at the start of this lap. They are closing in rapidly, and I think they're going to drop several positions. They could come up behind certain Berkey pairing with the time loss. It's going to be interesting to see where they come out, but Takubi staying out again.
That's a good point, Corn.
Starting lap 17 out of 22 now. Both of them gambling, staying out again. Another lap for the top two to stay out. Is it going to get wet enough for Angstu to catch up, or are Takubi and ICU going to be able to hold it out there on the slicks in the wet conditions? At the rate they're catching, let's look at their last lap time. Last time around, 157s for the top two, 151 for Angstu. He's gaining at 6 seconds a lap. They're going to catch. He's going to catch in 2 laps.
Okay, gap to the car ahead.
Might have tried something bold here, but I don't think it's going to work out for them. Remote is trying to stay out as well. He is actually keeping up with Sert, I believe. Although I think he has actually been overtaken by Sert. But I think ICU and Takubi are going to get overtaken here, dropping down the order, trying to keep positions.
Yeah, the difference there, JBG, was that he actually selected intermediates, but the game gave him dries.
They are losing far too much time to make this track viable. If they pit now, it's going to be too late anyway. They might just have to try and commit to this and hope it works out. Echo gets a few second tempo. He's currently sat in 11th.
Be aware.
If he had a chance of points, that may well cost him, unfortunately, pulling his race. But this is the one I want to watch. Angstu currently only 6 seconds now off of ICU and Takubi. Berkey overtaking Remote. Remote is dropping through the field as well. He is losing so much time here. It's not looking great for him. But the ones it's not looking great for out in front, Takubi and ICU. ICU has almost caught up to Takubi now. He's within 1 second. DRS is disabled though because it is wet. You can see them now going through the bus stop. It is done, I think, for them. They're going to get overtaken. And they are both into the pit lane. They've had to call it quits. Angstu takes the race lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. He's 5 seconds clear of Dark Viper behind them. Surely we're going to see Remote into the pit lane. Well, we have yellow flags, though. What's the yellow flags for? ICU's onto softs. Did ICU forget to change his tyres? Well, Raven gets a 3-second time onto the track limits. ICU is onto softs. What is it with these strategies from the top guys? Remote onto mediums, ICU onto softs. They're both throwing it all away. ICU comes out in P7, but he's within this massive fight. He's going to be dropping through the order again. Here comes Craggy, Raven, and Echo down. Down we go towards Eau Rouge. These guys is caught up in a battle. Craggy gets a 3-second time penalty. All 3 of the drivers, 8, 9 and 10, all have time penalties. They have ICU on the soft compound tyres in front. This is going to be an easy overtake on him once they catch up into Lecom. They go. They're not able to make the overtake here. They're losing so much time. There's front wing damage for Craggy. That explains why they're so slow. Craggy's missing an end plate. Here comes Raven to the inside at turn 8. Bruxelles. Echo gonna go for it as well on the Mercedes driver. Echo up now to P9. Barbens is all over the back of them as well. I think he was the cause of the yellow flag. He's been dropping down the order. Barbens now on the back of his teammates. Could we see team orders here? Barbens doesn't have a time penalty. Could he be set after ICU and Remote here, potentially to secure a P6 or P5 finish if he has the pace? Raven passed. We have yellow flags. Champagne is out, and we have a safety car on lap 18. This changes everything. Everybody is going to be able to catch up. This brings Remote I see you back into this race. Takubi's going to be allowed to catch up. This is the worst case scenario for Angsti. He's 10 seconds out in front.
If a safety car virtual is... Oh, it's the full safety car, right? I've got to go for a new set of inters, surely.
That is almost certainly very safe. This safety car's going to be coming in at the end of lap 20.
Softs, not a chance.
There won't be a safety car after this one. That is unfortunate for Craggy. On debut, he was looking set to take some points here. Then he got that front wing damage. And now a drive through, it's almost certainly I expect you can see everybody in. Angsti has stayed out on those used intermediate tyres. He didn't want to risk giving up track position. Takubi stays out as well. He only just pitted. I expect we're going to see the same with actually nobody else because ICU pitted for softs. ICU has stayed out on the soft compound tyres. That is a very risky gamble. Cert is gambling on soft as well. They're risking on the track drying up. Look at the track though, it's still raining. Another drive through for track, guys. Rocky's going to retire. It is still raining, guys. What are you doing? It's still raining, even 5 minutes though. Rain stops in 5 minutes, and then the track's still dry, and 5 minutes will be after the end of the safety car. This is not going to work. Softs are not the strat here. Josh onto the soft as well. These guys are making a mistake, surely, it's still raining now. 5 minutes for rain stopping would be the end of the race. Damtax gets a drive through for speeding, and Craggy gets disqualified. Craggy is disqualified. He is currently running in P9, but he will be out of the race. That pushes everybody up in position. And also, you're taking Damtax out of the equation, currently running P11. Damtax gets another drive through. What is going on? Are people missing their deltas? That's a second car.
Right, let's go.
ICU and Echo having some shenanigans here. Echo's been spun around under the safety car. I'm not sure what happened there, but Echo losing a couple of positions. Now Damtax getting another drive-through. What is going on?
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
They're getting so many drive-throughs. I'm not sure what's causing this. They have a delta to... Damtax has been disqualified as well. I'm very confused. Okay, well depending on how these soft tyres go, we have 3 drivers on the softs. If they all drop off, everybody's going to be up a couple of positions here. That will put AD up to 11. Could AD and Downsy both get to score points? I think one of them could be on to score points in this race. It's not drying. We're on at the end of lap 19. It's still wet. I think the question actually is going to be, can AD catch up to the safety car? He's quite a way back. Safety car will be in at the end of lap 20. We have a very mixed up grid here. Angsti currently leading. He's on old inters though. So is Takubi and Raven. ICU on old softs. Barbans on old intermediates. The top 5 all on used tyres. ICU on soft tyres. And then we have new tyres for Dark Viper. New softs for Cert. Old inters for Echo. He had that spin ball which dropped him down the order. And new tyres for pretty much the rest of the grid here. Below that, except for Downsy, who's currently on used intermediate tyres. The gap to leader currently... Penalties actually misunderstood. Josh has 9 seconds, Echo has 3, Raven has 3. That could be costly for them as well. The gap to leader, 55 seconds. That gap is going to be rapidly falling. There's a chance that AD may not catch up to the safety car, which would be very unfortunate. Downsy is on for a very good chance at points though, with 3 drivers on the softs, 3 drivers with time penalties. What is going to happen here? Could we see some first points for Downsy? Could we see first points for AD? Can they keep up? Are those softs going to get dry enough? It has stopped raining. I don't think it's dry enough. Looking at the track right now, it still seems far too wet for the softs, but it has stopped raining. That's the one thing that will play into their hands. It is no longer raining. There's a very small chance, but I don't think those softs are going to get fast enough. It could be a really good strategy. We could see Sir taking his first podium of the season if it dries up enough. but I think that the Inters are still going to be fast enough. I don't think those softs are going to get fast. It's going to be much closer than it originally was. AD still yet to catch. Safety car will be in this lap. I think AD will just about catch. He's coming into Fania now, the back of the train coming into Stavolo. He should make it. As the pack has to slow down as well, all the way down. He will start to get throttle limited, but he is still coming through. It's still definitely wet. The track is still very wet. And AD just coming to catch the pack now, so he's going to be fine. Safety car, they're still quite close to the safety car. They're taking it very quickly on the restart. They do have to back off, otherwise they are going to get throttle limited by the safety car, and that's when things start to get dangerous. They need to let the safety car back into the pit lane. When is Angstri going to make that jump? How are these soft tyres going to perform on this race restart? This is what we need to see now. Out of the final corner, when's he going to make the jump? He has gone now.
Please, DBG.
Takubi has got a really good restart here. Could we see a move into turn 1 already from the Mercedes driver? No, he isn't. He is slotting in behind, just waiting it out. How are those soft tyres forming? Remote up to P9 already. He is making some moves on the restart. AD pretty much caught up. I'm not sure if he backed out or not. Down towards Eau Rouge we go now. ICU had a look on Raven. Those soft tyres look like they're doing alright. He doesn't seem to be losing time. Barban's behind on those on his. ICU's wide though. He's losing it out of Eau Rouge. He's gone off track. He has managed to keep going. Those soft tyres may be starting to struggle a little bit. Sertos is dropping back as well from Dark Viper, who is gaining on Barban's. They are gaining out in front. Here comes Takubi round the outside of Angstri into turn 5. He has made that move stick. Takubi now leads the race. Raven in P3, but he's carrying a 3-second time penalty. He goes wide. ICU up to P3 on the soft compound tyres. Is this a strategy? The track is dry. The track is completely dry. Here comes Sir Dogan. Could we see Sir making his way onto the podium round the outside at No Name on Dark Viper? What a move from Sert. He's going to keep fighting this one all the way down to Pool, but he's going to have so much more grip on those soft combat tyres. Round the outside of Dark Viper he goes. Up to P6 now on the exit. Towards Fania we
Should have
go.
gone softs.
Go for it. Up to P5 now. Round the outside of Barbans he goes. What a move from Sert. He has so much more grip than these guys. I see all over the back of Angstri as well up in front. Could we see Sert making it through? Are we going to see team orders from the McLaren team? Will Raven get out of the way? He has that 3-second time penalty. ICU going past Angstri now. Had a look. Not quite able to make that work. Now, as we go down towards Blanchimont, the team orders at McLaren do come out. Sert is past Raven. We have yellow flags. AD is round, unfortunately. He won't be capitalising here on this safety car restart.
And he's
Sert
beached.
Dogan up to P4 now. Here comes Angstri and ICU into the bus stop chicane. ICU getting past up to P2. A spin from Angstri. He goes wide. Sert is up to P3. He's on the podium as it stands. This McLaren transfer working amazingly. Raven is spun as well. He's off in the background. Remote down to P10. It's not looking great for him.
Oh, now he can drive off.
I'm not sure what happened to him. Did he get beached? I'm not sure. But those soft tyres looking to work amazingly. AD is out. Raven and Dowsy, we have a car around. Remote is spun round at turn 1. He's out of the points. Remote retired. Echo gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That might get removed. I'm not sure what happened. But as it stands, it looks like the soft tyres are working amazingly. Josh losing it a little bit out of Eau Rouge though, and Radion. Here we go down the Camel Straight. Everybody on the intermediates except for the top 2. Into Les Combes we go. Contact between Downsy and Echo there, but they do both survive through the chicane. Downsy currently running in P9. He's on to take his
Look
first
at those
point of the
DNFs
season.
now.
Final lap of this race.
I would have been 12th
Takubi under so much
at
pressure
worst.
from ICU now. Out in P1. They're going down towards Pouon. ICU all over the back of him. Are we going to see a move towards Fania now? On the exit of Pouon we go. ICU is gaining rapidly. They're going to be deploying all their battery down towards Fania.
I don't know how I could be beached and disqualified, and then when I'm disqualified, the car gets to drive off.
He held up so much. Sert trying it on ICU for a second there. Had a look. Not quite close enough. This is going to be a photo finish to the line between the top 3. Who is going to take this one as we head now through Stavolo towards Blanchimont we go. ICU pulling to the inside we go. Down the straight. ICU trying to take the race lead here on the final lap of the race. Sert following close behind. Can he pick up the P2 as we head towards the bus stop chicane? They're going wheel to wheel into the bus stop chicane. ICU has the outside line. He gets later on the brakes though than Takubi. Into the bus stop they go. Contact between the top 2. Insert gonna get the run to the line. He goes deep. ICU will take the race win. Sir Dogan takes 2nd place. His first podium of the season. Takubi takes 3rd. Angstri Coston, he got a 3-second time penalty. He drops down to 5th. Barbans up to 4th.
Alright, so I wouldn't have got
Berkey takes
points
P5.
at least, so I don't feel
Angstri
too
takes
bad.
P6. Dark Viper takes P7. Echo comes across the line, takes P8. Downsy up to P8 with that penalty. What a race there at the end. Surt had a look for the race win. It was so close for him. He just couldn't quite get the power down after the final corner. Driver of the day for ISU from P10 on the grid. He takes the race win. What a race from him. Points, first points of the season for Downsy though. What a race from him, managing to come home in P8 after those penalties. Podium though for Surt Dogan, first of the season. He made the strategy call. It was a bold one, it was a brave one, and it paid off in the end. 9th and 10th goes a 1 and 2 on the grid. What a drive from them. Barbans, unfortunately, from pole all the way down to 4th. Dark Viper, though, 17th to 7th. Downsy, 16th to 8th, taking his first points. Raven, unfortunately, dropping down to P9 there. Echo comes home after those penalties to take points as well.
Kids crying now. Are you referring to me,
What a
Colin?
race. I think it's interview time, and I
See
think
any
we're going to be
tears?
seeing, probably for the first time this season, a very, very happy Surt Dogan. There are the
Or are you
race
crying?
results. Wow. Wow.
So
What a
softs were the
race.
call. Although if I spun on the inters there,
All of the drivers.
I would have spun
they
on the
took a
softs
gamble
surely.
onto those
So
soft tyres, and it was the right call. Let's head over to the interview room now.
right, well, I'll put myself in for an interview. Always nice to talk about my disappointments.
We have Raven. Oh, we have Surt. I think we've got to go for Surt. I mean, what a performance from him. Surt. What do I say?
Hello.
P2, first podium of the season. What a drive. You took the gamble onto those soft tyres. What was going through your head there?
Okay, first of all, GG's to everyone. My race was clean. I had no problem with anyone, so W from that perspective. And yeah, the beginning of the race, it
Thanks,
was
Corn. I was just
showing that
about to
really
do that
short
and couldn't
period of
work out
time
why I
there will
couldn't
be
see it.
rain. So even I was thinking like, okay, maybe it will rain, but it won't be enough for inters. And then I saw that it was clearly for inters. I was keeping in my mind that still, okay, it's gonna be dry soon. It's gonna be dry soon. And yeah, I saw that the kinda rain get lighter, and I said, okay, you know what? I can see that I can do that. And I thought, to be honest with you, I thought most of the people will do that, but me and ICU was the only two people that done this
yeah.
in top 10, I believe.
Yeah, Josh was also on the soft tyres, but he had 9 seconds of penalties, and he was quite far down as well, so he wasn't able to capitalise on it.
So it was lovely, and yeah, I was aware that just right after the safety car, the track won't be ready, but the lap after, it was good
A
to
bit of
go,
both, I think, Corn. I was early on the power, which
I
set me
wasn't
wide, and I put my
sure
outside
that
rear
I
onto
will
the
be able
curb.
to catch Tekubi, but Tekubi was defending against ICU, which helped me quite a lot. And we were, I don't know, you were watching, but we were 3 cars in the bus stop chicane.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wasn't focusing on that, but Koi said that ICU can get a penalty because of the takeover contact. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying what is written in the chat. And yeah, I'm happy, and GG's to everyone.
Yeah, well, 4 tenths across the line was the gap. First podium of the season. I don't think you can complain, really.
I absolutely not. P2, I'll take it. I knew that this race gonna be tough. I mean, look at the quality results. Like, everyone was extreme close. I was thinking that I'm doing all right, but I start P10. And yeah, GG's to everyone. It was lovely, and I'm happy. And it was first race in the McLaren, so W McLaren. Shout out to my teammate. And GG's. Thank you.
No problem, Surt. Pleasure as always. And yeah, congratulations
Take
on the
care
podium.
of yourself.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Bye bye.
All right.
Good evening, Chocolate. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How was that race for you? It was looking like it was going to be quite a decent result for you up until after that safety car restart. It just seemed to fall apart a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my chat were mixed between whether I should have gone for the softs or the inters. It sounded like in the commentary you were not too sure either. It seems like softs were the way to go, but I managed to have a spin on the inters anyway. So I think if I'd gone for the softs, I probably would have had that same spin. The annoying part about that spin was I ended up beached on the curb and couldn't get off. And then when the game disqualified me, the car drove off. So how that works, I'm not entirely sure, but there you go.
Yeah, unfortunate. But I don't think you were running in the points anyway. So unfortunately, another race, no points coming home.
Indeed.
How do you feel looking forward though to we've got Abu Dhabi next time out? How do you fare there?
I wasn't overly confident with Spa, as I've said numerous occasions. I made some improvements in the lead up to the race. Abu Dhabi is a slightly better track for me, not one of my best again. So I'm going to be relying on a bit of attrition. I think, as you said at the start of the question, the only consolation in my spin was that I would have been 12th anyway. So it's not like I missed out on points because of spinning on the last lap. But yeah, on to Abu Dhabi. Shame for remote as well. I don't know whether that was a game glitch that put him onto the softs or whether he failed to change. I don't know if you've got any insight on that. Perhaps when you speak to them.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I did watch an esports race where the leader in a Ferrari actually came into the pit, selected inters, and the game put him on softs when the track was wet. So it does seem to be something that's happening at the moment, which is a bit of a shame.
All right. And yeah, overall it was a decent result. Where were you? You were 18th in qualifying. So I mean, it could have been worse, you know.
Yeah.
And overall, you were looking decent in the race. I think in the early stages you were actually running in P10. So
yeah,
positive still to take away from this race.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with my P10. I think was that when I got spun out?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. To be honest,
it was quite early on. I got spun out. I need to check my replay. I have to think at the time I thought it was me being exuberant on the throttle, but you did call contact in the commentary. So I don't know if you saw something that I didn't feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I'll go over my footage and submit it, and we will see what happened. Lap 6, my chatter telling me, was when I spun.
All right. Well, yeah. Overall, good luck next time out. Hopefully, it's going to be a slightly better result.
Let's hope so.
And yeah, hopefully we're going to see some points.
Thanks again. Good work on the commentary as ever. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you later. Bye.
As ever. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
So there we go.
Let's go to Dark Viper. Hello, Dark Viper. It was.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happened with Remote's pit stop.
I'm getting that pen removed, okay?
You off for the night? Thank you, Corn. Thank you for your company as ever.
Well, that was a 3-second time.
I need a hydrate.
Yeah, I'll be P4.
I am quite hot.
Fumbled on strategy there, to be honest. But I want to thank Yona Martins for the inspirational support for the last lap. What is it? Come Bucket Daily, GB, Razin, Matty, all of the Creator Series guys in chat for the support. You know, mega from.
Blimey. I never thought to give any thanks. I'll have to thank some of you guys next time.
P4, lots of points coming home to Haas.
Yeah, unbelievable, honestly.
After a shocker of a qualifying from you.
It's a good thing we have an archway behind me because my door would. What happened in quali?
Yeah.
I just did 2 hours of WRC and I didn't adapt very well. My adaptability wasn't there. This is my worst track as well, so I'm happy to take points, to be honest.
Yeah, Spa seeming to be a struggle track for quite a few of the drivers, but yeah, in the end, as it stands right now, P7, but potentially gonna come home in P4 if you're able to get that penalty removed. So, yeah, decent result for you.
One thing.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Mogged.
Okay.
Mogged.
Okay.
Mogged.
Right. Let's go to Echo now.
Fair enough.
Hello, Echo.
Hello.
P10 for you, more points coming home. For you, how was that race?
Honestly, it was going good. Until the end. I did get sandwiched at one point going into the chicane. It didn't help, but it also didn't help with the 5 seconds straight after that from passing Raven while he was going dead slow.
Yeah. Potentially you'll get that run removed as well. I think that might bump you up a position. Yeah, I think so.
Actually, yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, still points coming home. You managed to survive through the race. What were your thoughts with the strategy there at the end?
I think I was thinking going onto the softs. I just decided against it. I was like, some of the guys stayed on inters ahead of me, so just thought may as well.
But yeah, overall decent result for you, getting some points. How are you looking for Yas Marina next time out?
Ooh, I think I can cook her on there. I'm alright at Yasmarina.
All right, well, good luck for the next race. We will see how it goes for you. Maybe some more points coming home for you. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
All right, good one. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, let's get Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
Unfortunate race for you there, just missing out on the points. Tell us a bit about what happened.
You say I missed out on the points. I did, but I believe I've got an incident clip which might put me in the points. I'll submit that later. I thought I had a really good start, especially when the safety car came out. Since I was on mediums,
One small
I
mistake
was
mess
just
up so much
following what
hard
Dark
work.
Viper was doing because I know he's
GBG.
pretty decent. So I stayed out with him. But then when the safety car ended, I just started battling it, making loads of mistakes, and I dropped well far back.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
one point you were running, I think P6, which was very good for you. But
I have been P4 before, but I had a drive-through, so I don't know if that counts.
yeah, well, yeah. In the end, what was the tire strategy thoughts with you for that final stint? You went for the gamble with the softs. But did you think it was going to dry up, or did you think it was quite risky?
Thought I might as well try it because I was really far back anyway. If I didn't try it, I probably would have ended up further back. So I believed it was the right strategy at the time, and it did pay off. If I didn't have 9 seconds worth of time penalties, which I got shafted by the game a little bit on most of them.
And then,
yeah.
Looking forward to Yas Marina. Is that a track you go well at? How do you think you're going to do there?
Terrible at it. I don't know how to drive it at all.
So maybe not a great weekend next time out, but hopefully maybe we'll get some chaos and it'll bring you into it. Let's see how it goes for you.
Hopefully.
All right. Let's go now to Raven. Hello, Raven.
Ooh, what's going on?
Not much. How was that race for you? P9.
Raven's always
It's
good
probably
value.
not what you were expecting after the win last time out. But just tell us about what happened for you.
Yeah, so pretty much yeah, nah. No, the first stint, I should say, it was a bit of a doozy, not gonna lie. I knew I didn't have the pace here, especially in qualifying. My one good lap was Q3, and I somehow managed to get there with barely getting to Q2. But yeah, the first few stints in the race just it wasn't good. The pace was off. I was just dropping through the field, and especially when that virtual safety car and the safety car came out, just did not help really. Nope. Fuck, hold on. But yeah, it wasn't the worst race, really. But the ending, wasn't just what we wanted. I think maybe a P4, P5 was on the cards. Sorry, my dog is just yapping in my ear.
Yeah, it's all right. I think you had a spin late on as well. Tell us about that. What happened there?
Yeah. So, my God, dude, it's so distracting. Um, so, yeah, coming into the final corner, on that safety car, it might have been the lap after the restart when it just dried up. I think I lost the rear end, going into the final corner, which led my old teammate, Barbance, get a little bit of a wing in there right when he turned in, and I just didn't expect it, so I got spun around. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it for that.
All right. Well, looking forward to Abu Dhabi next time out. How do you fare out there? Do you think it's going to be a better race for you?
It's probably going to be a shocker again, 2 tracks back to back that I never, drive on, and I'm pretty bad at, but hey, we'll try to practice this time, maybe a bit more, and we can manage.
All right. Well, best of luck for you next time out. Hopefully, it'll be a better result for you.
Thanks, mate. Also, shout out to my boy Seth, just came into the team, and he's peaked. So big shout out to him. Great result for the team.
All right. Thank you very much, Raven. And let's go to Unksg. Hello.
Hello there.
I think it was P6 for you in the end there.
P6, yeah.
How was
Yeah,
that race?
sadly. Overall, I felt the race was good. Qualifying overall was pretty good. I managed to get myself into the top 5, which was pretty unexpected. I'd barely do this track. Moving on to the race, horrid first lap. And ended up crashing into that Alpine, I think it was, who had a spin. But then managed to get myself back up into P1. And then by pure chance, I was singing Murder on the Dance Floor while we had the late safety car at the end of the race, and I completely missed the pits and gave up there completely. So, brilliant strategy from me, singing.
And as for that lap 1 incident, just was there any contact there, or did the Alpine just spin on his own?
Honestly, I didn't see any contact, and I don't think there was any contact overall. But I think, yeah, he just spun on his own, I think. We'll have to wait and see for that one.
All right. And how do you think you fare at Abu Dhabi? Do you think you would do well there?
If I can get in as a reserve, yeah, I'll probably do my fair share of work. I'm hoping to get a better result. Maybe not get a penalty on the last lap, last corner. But yeah, it is one of my stronger tracks overall, close to Saudi. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, good luck next time out if you are racing. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. And last but not least, even though he isn't racing, let's hear what Dragon has to say. He's been sat very patiently in the waiting room. Hello, Dragonflies. What do you have to say here?
I got absolutely robbed, mate. Absolutely robbed. Guys, Ben said, okay, Ben said, drama. Bye-bye.
Huh? Oh, I thought you said Ben, sir. That's why I was a bit confused. Oh.
This guy is just trying to manipulate all of you guys. Do not believe this fucker. The thing is, it has been 1 week that I post that sign-up sheet, and he's waiting the last day, last minute, last hour. And then when I announced the reserves, he is just coming and texting me that, okay, sir, I missed it, blah blah blah. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Please go.
Controversy off track.
Absolutely robbed, mate. Absolutely robbed.
All right, well, Dragon, hopefully you'll remember to do your sign up next time, and you'll be able to get into the next race in Abu Dhabi. How do you think you're gonna do next time out?
I don't know, but I hope Sarata's bad. Rivalry, I hate him.
Well, strong words coming from Dragon. There you go, chat. Well, let's get rid of him. We don't need to sit here anymore from him.
I couldn't tell whether that was
Yeah.
serious or not.
ICU with an amazing comeback drive there after that lap 1 incident, managing to come back through to take the race win. Cert only a couple tenths behind at the end. He was so close to taking that race win on the exit.
He's a
on the
jokester.
final
Good
corner.
stuff.
Just got pipped to the line though by ICU. And then Takubi managed to stick out on those intermediate tyres to take that P3 in the end. Dowsy taking his first points as well, coming from the back of the grid. Dark Viper taking some points as well from the back of the grid. So overall, a very good race. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next week in Abu Dhabi. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, thanks to Chocolate as ever for excellent commentary and post-race interviews. I will be back on Wednesday evening for Wheelspin Wednesdays. If you fancy some open lobby action, perhaps with some longer races, maybe some fun challenges afterwards, then do drop by from about 8:30 UK time, PM. We're currently on UTC +1. Then Thursday evening is Avatar from about 7 PM, again UK time. I'm hoping I'll get to the end of that game either this week or next week. Friday evening, as ever, is with Top Mod JBG of Grey Ops fame. We're continuing our playthrough of Ghost Recon Wildlands and having lots of fun doing it. So if that's your bag, then please do drop by to join us. 8:30 again on Friday. And then Sunday afternoons is Wheelspin Wednesdays. We can talk about the Grand Prix if I've had a chance to watch it. We're going to go and raid Cert now because it would be rude not to. So thank you everybody for your company. Do stick around for the raid if you wouldn't mind. AD raid in the chat once we get there. Use the emote if you got access to it. But until next time, thank you as ever all for your company. Take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks again. Bye for now.